Divide the pattern box to get your front and back block. The formula to get your pattern box is on the screen. Rule a straight line across. Mark the half length for the front as 17 inches in this case, and for the back 15 inches. Mark the point on two ends and connect with a straight line. Measure the shoulder measurement divided by 2. Here it is 7.5 inches. Place on the front block and on the back block. Mark the chest line. The formula to get your chest line is on the screen. Here it is 8.5 inches. Mark on different points and connect with a straight line. Place the shoulder measurement on the chest line to get a straight armhole line. Rule a line across to create your armhole, and next you mark the standard neckline measurement for the front, neck width 3 and neck depth 3, and for the back, neck width 3 and neck depth 1. Mark the shoulder slope for the front as 1 inch and for the back 0.5 inch. Connect a line from the neck width to the shoulder slope. Divide from the shoulder slope to the chest line by 2 to get the mid armhole. Mark the mid armhole on the front block and on the back block. On the mid armhole of the back block, go in by 0.5 inch, and for the front, come in by 0.75 inch. Rule the armhole tightening line from the shoulder slope to the mid armhole for the front block and the back block. Divide the circumferences by 4. The bust divided by 4 here is 9.5. You place it there, and on the waist, divide by 4 as well and place it there. From the chest line, come down by 1.5 inches to get your bust span line. The inches derived from the mid armhole to the chest line also serves as the dart. Place this on the bust span line from the center front and on the waistline. Rule a line to connect the darts. On the waistline, open up the dart by 0.5 inch on both sides. Connect the dart legs to the bust point. Replace the 1 inch used in opening the dart on the side waist. Connect the side seam from the bust to the waist as shown. With the help of your French curve, connect from the mid armhole to the chest line. Moving over to the back block. On the half length, come in by 1 inch to tighten the center back. Connect a straight line from the neck depth to the back tightening. All measurements will be taken from the new center back line. Mark the bust measurements on the chest line. Likewise, mark the waist measurement on the half length. From the chest line on the back block, come down by 1 inch. Here the dart line starts. When placing the dart line for the back block, start from the original center back line. Once again, open the dart legs by 0.5 inch on both sides. Connect to the dart starting line. Replace the 1 inch for the dart intake by the side waist and connect the side line. Connect the armhole curve. Alter the neck width for the front and back block by 1 inch. The neck width is now 4 inches. On the front block, create the over bust line by coming down from the shoulder line by 7 inches or as preferred. Get the mid shoulder slope by dividing the original 3 inches neck width to the shoulder by 2. Connect the mid shoulder to the bust point. This line becomes the shoulder princess dart line. Tighten the over bust by taking 0.5 inch on both sides of the shoulder princess dart line. Mark the under bust length from the shoulder line. Here it is 14 inches. Rule a line across. On the under bust line, from the center front, ensure you have 3 inches standard, or come inwards from the dart leg by 0.75 inch towards the center front. From the other dart leg, tighten the under bust by 0.25 inches. On the bust point, go inwards by 0.25 inch to avoid sharp points. With the help of a French curve, on the center front, connect from the under bust to the bust point. On the side fronts, connect also from the under bust to the bust point and proceed to connect to the over bust line as shown. From the under bust, connect a straight line to the half length. The excess dart intake, replace it on the side line. Connect the half length once again to the chest line. On the initial side line, place the difference between the front and the back half length. Here it is 2 inches. Connect with a straight line to the bust point. From the neck width of 4 inches, make a straight line to 0.25 before the over bust tightening point. Take one of the 0.75 inch used to tighten the under bust to the side of the armhole and redraw the armhole. On the back block, draw a princess dart line to the mid armhole. Extend the line by 1 inch and redraw the armhole curve. Alter the neck depth for the back block to 2 inches and redraw the neckline. Separate the front and back block. Trim off the border line for the front block. Cut through the dart line, stop at the bust point. Close the bust dart as shown and redraw the side line. Close the over bust dart. Match up the points with your pencil and cut through the over bust, through the armhole and to the sidelines. Trim out the darts for the center front piece and the side front piece. Keep this aside and proceed to the yoke. Trim out the armhole, the neckline and the shoulder line. Then the front set is ready. Cut out the back pattern, the half length, the darts through to the princess dart point, the side, the armhole. Trim out the darts, the center back tightening line, the neckline, the shoulder slope, and the armhole tightening line. Here is the complete pattern set. We move on to cut the skirt part of the dress. I'll be cutting on the satin first. The satin is placed on 4 folds with one open side that will serve as the center back, minus the half length. In this case, it is 17 inches. To get the full length of the dress, add 1.5 inch seam allowance. Rule a line across. This becomes the waistline. At the center back, mark 1 inch zipper allowance. Connect the line with a ruler. It is time to mark the circumferences. Take the measurement from the folded side, which is the center front as shown. First, the waist divided by 4. Add 1 inch for that allowance and 1.5 inch seam allowance. Come down from the waistline by 9 inches to get your hip line. Divide your hip by 4 and add 1.5 inch seam allowance. The knee length measurement here is 20 inches from the waistline. To get the circumference on the knee line, minus 1.5 inch from the original hip measurement. Then add 1.5 inch seam allowance as well. At the hem, place exactly what you have on the knee line. Connect with a straight line from the knee line to the hem. Place 1 inch above and below the hip point. Then connect to the knee line and then to the waistline. At the center back, mark the hip length. Place 1 inch above and below that point. Then mark the knee length also at the center back. Go in by 1 inch and connect to the hip line. Also at the waistline of the center back, go inward by 1 inch and connect to the hip line. This way we have eliminated 1 inch zipper allowance at the waistline and the knee line of the center back. This is to create a bum illusion. From the side of the front block, go in by 1 inch and connect again to the hip line. This is because the front skirt wouldn't have a dart. However, to eliminate smile lines at the front, come down from the center front by 1 inch as shown and connect to the side. While cutting the waistline, cut straight because the back waistline is straight. This part is to show you that on the side of the back block, replace the 1 inch zipper allowance eliminated at the center back to create the bum illusion and connect to the hip line as shown. Go ahead to cut other areas. Kindly observe that at the center back, while cutting the zipper line, lift up the center front and cut out the bum illusion all the way to the knee line and blend into the straight line towards the hem. Cut out the waistline curve of the front block and then trim out the 1 inch dart intake at the side, stopping at the hip line. Move the front block aside. Mark the 1 inch zipper allowance for the back block. Create a notch to indicate the zipper allowance point. Next, we transfer the satin to the lace, cutting the front piece first. The lace should be 1 inch shorter than the satin. Cut the lace using the satin as a template. Next, place the lace over the satin and see how the hem of the satin will be folded backwards. Then the length of the satin and the lace will become equal. Here is a demonstration on how the lace will overlap the front block on the left side facing me. From the upper side, come in by 2 inches. At the hem, come in by 7 inches. Place the lace selvage on the point just created in a slanted position. For accuracy in getting the other side, place the satin over it and cut out the side shape. Take out the satin, fold the hem of the wrap illusion. While cutting out the excess fabric, ensure that the wrapper illusion is about 0.5 inch longer than the lace beneath it. At the waistline of the wrapper illusion fabric, go upward by 2 inches above the original waistline of the main skirt. Cut the waistline straight of the wrapper illusion and we are done. We have to cut the underlining for the wrapper illusion. Place the wrapper illusion lace on the satin, right side facing up. Cut around the area as shown. Here is a quick demonstration on how the slanted edge of the satin will be folded in backward by 0.5 inch. Placing the front piece in layers, and this is how it would look like at the end of the day. Here's the cutting process of the back piece. The length of the satin is once again 1 inch longer than the lace. Cut around the areas, notch the zipper allowance, and we proceed to cut the belt. Place the satin fabric to be used for the belt lengthwise, measuring 27 to 28 inches length, and place on fold again. The bottom area is 7 inches. Mark the middle of the fabric, then place 4 inches there and also 4 inches at the top area. Cut out the belt shape, separate the bottom area, and you have 2 belts. Cut the wording for the bustier area. Come inwards by 2 inches from the side piece. Place the pattern paper on the fabric, bend the half length, stopping at the underbust. Indicate the underbust for both the center front and the side front. Highlight the area of the piece using a fabric marker. For the side front, connect the curve at the side as shown. Come down by half an inch from the top area of the wording. Cut out the wording, and here's how it will be ironed on the fabric. For the yoke, place the neck width on the lace selvage, add 0.5 inch seam allowance all round, and cut out. These are the front pieces. First, the lace. The satin carrying the wording for the bustier area. This would be placed directly under the lace. Then we have the satin serving as the main lining. Iron your preferred interfacing. And then we have the yoke. The front set is complete. Here is the back set, the lace, the satin directly under the lace, and the lining piece carrying the interfacing. The back set is also complete. To cut the cape, I have a fabric here lengthwise 29 inches and widthwise about 42 inches. Place the fabric on bias fold as shown. Measure till you get 28 inches at the upper area. This 28 inches is actually the measurement around where you want the cape to sit. Keep adjusting the bias fold till you get 28 inches widthwise by length 8 inches. Place 8 inches on different positions and rule a line across. Cut out the sides of the cape, then the top area. Place the fabric on fold to get the same shape for the other angle. Cut out the fabric, flatten it out and taper the edge by 1 inch as shown. Place the fabric on fold again as a guide to taper the other end. Open flat the cape fabric, place it over the satin serving as a lining. The satin here is right sides facing up. For structure, I'll be using a collar stay. Use the satin as a pattern to cut out the collar stay as shown. The length of the sleeve is 18 inches. Mark this on different positions. Rule a line across. Come down by 4 inches for the cap's height. On the cap's height line, mark the bust measurement divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. Mark the elbow length of 12 inches. Divide the elbow circumference by 2 and place the resulting answer there. In the same way, divide the sleeve's hem circumference by 2. Connect a straight line from the cap's height line to the starting point of the sleeve. Get the middle point on that line, and with the help of your French curve, connect the S-curve as shown. Go ahead to cut the pattern. Place your fabric on 4 folds, pin your pattern on the fabric, and cut your sleeves, adding 0.5 inch at the top area and on the sides of the sleeve. The cutting process is done. We move over to sewing. If this tutorial was helpful, please drop a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell for more videos. Bye.